sitting, lie down or kneel or stand. Whatever you feel like just now to warm up, do so. And if you're sitting cross-legged, place your feet in the not so comfortable way, because normally we sit down and we place our legs in an automatic fashion. Fold them the other way. If you're kneeling, maybe tuck your toes under. And then give yourself some time, just close your eyes and give yourself some time to just breathe gently in through your nose and out through your open mouth. Allowing yourself to arrive on your mat in this beautiful space of yours, in this phenomenal body that carries you through each and every day. And while you're traveling inward into your body, check in with yourself to see whether there's an area or a part of your body that is not feeling quite as chirper as you would like it to feel. And then spend like 2-3 breaths in that area. Not analyzing, not tagging, not judging, just feeling. What does it feel like? Is it a bit dense? Is it constricted? Is it overstretched? Is it sore? Is it tight? And can I give it space to release and relax? And always be gentle with yourself. We're doing as good as we can, and we are the best version of ourselves today. Take one more deep inhale through your nose and a very long and slow exhale through your open mouth. And find stillness in the position that you've taken. And allow your chin to drop down towards your chest. Gently pulling your shoulder blades down towards your sit bones. Allowing for a slight stretch to happen in the base of your neck. Keeping your breath nice and steady and easy. Stay here for another 2 breaths. Maybe releasing the pull of your shoulder blades on the inhale. And on the exhale, gently pull the entire shoulder girdle down away from your ears, allowing the tips of your shoulder blades to travel down towards your sit bone. Gently pulling your belly button back towards your spine. Feeling the lengthening of that spine. And on that next inhale, I'd like you to release your belly button to its natural position and gently lift your chin. Allow the crown to grow up towards the ceiling. And with your exhale, allow the back of your head to drop back as far as it feels comfortable to you today. Feel the stretch in your throat. Perhaps push your chin up towards the ceiling, extending that stretch from your collarbones all the way to your lower jaw. Stay here for another 2 or 3 breaths, depending on how it feels in your neck. Perhaps extending that back bend in your neck a bit more, checking in with yourself. Keeping your spine from your tailbone all the way to your shoulder girdle as straight as possible, so the back bend is only in your neck. With your next inhale, slowly allow your head to come into a neutral position. And gently bend your head to one side. Pulling both shoulders away from your ears. So if your head is going to the right, you'll feel the stretch in the left of your neck. And with your next exhale, drop your chin down towards your collarbone on that side and gently glide it across the center line to the other side. Being very, very gentle with your neck. And then allow that ear to drop down towards your shoulder. Again, both shoulders pull away. With your next exhale, again, travel towards your center line. Interlace your fingers and place those interlaced fingers on the back of your head. No pulling, no pushing, no nothing. Just place those interlaced fingers on the back of your head and gently allow those elbows to move together. Try to stay as upright in your spine all the way up to your shoulder girdle as possible. If you are very tense in your neck area, take your thumbs and gently push them in those occipital lobes, which are just at the base of your skull. Gently push into there and pull away. So you're elongating your neck spine, and at the same time, the weight of your upper arms and hands are allowing that head to come down. So you're getting a stretch and a slight bend at the same time. If you're very tense in your neck, try to pull those shoulder blades down towards your sit bones. Check in with your spine so that you're nice and upright, so your chest is open. With your next exhale, start rounding your lower back, pulling your belly button back towards your spine, closing your rib cage, and becoming round in your upper back, rounding your entire spine. You'll feel that stretch, or you might feel that stretch a bit more just beneath the occipital lobes, depending on how tense your neck spine is. On the next exhale, release those hands down either into your lap or onto your thighs. Tugging that chin down towards your chest. And then slowly start straightening your spine again, opening that chest, squaring your shoulders, and lifting that chin off your chest. And just stay like that for 2 breaths. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale through your open mouth. And then gently move your neck and head in a fashion that works for you. Maybe it's wobbling from side to side. Maybe it's drawing itty bitty circles. Everybody's very individual. So just move your neck and head in such a way that you can get ready to move in a bigger fashion. Maybe you'd like to take your shoulders along in the movement. Maybe it's taking your shoulders up to your ears. Whatever feels nice to you, do so. For another 2. 1. And let's meet in center and just rotate the shoulders backwards twice and forwards twice. And if you had your eyes closed, open your eyes. Good morning. Very good. Inhale, reach those fingertips up. Change the way you've got your legs aligned. If it doesn't feel comfortable in cross-legged position, just stretch your legs out and simply allow one hand to reach up and alternate sides, growing long in your side bodies. Maybe your gaze goes up towards the ceiling, keeping those upper arms close to your ears. Reach up. So if you want to harvest the sunshine that is eluding us just right now, let's get a bit faster. Maybe you'll be generating some heat. We're going to do another 3, 2, 1, and then come to center and drop those arms. Rotate the shoulders in both directions. Go up one more time. Inhale, and then drop those arms on the side. Fold your thumbs in, curl your fingers around the thumbs, and then just curl those knuckles towards your ears. Keep the arms nice and straight. Your chest is open, shoulder blades are pulling down, and belly button is pulling back to keep yourself nice and tall. Your crown is moving up towards the ceiling. Feel a stretch just across your hand, wrist, and lower arm, maybe all the way into your elbow. Deep breath. And release, wriggle the fingers, turn the palms down, do the same in this position. Fold the thumbs in, curl your fingers around, and pull those knuckles towards your ribs. And in this position, very often the shoulders tend to come up to your ears, so allow them to just sink down away from your ears. Get a different stretch more on the upper arm or the upper side of your lower arm. Keep your breath nice and steady. Chest is open, shoulder blades pull down, belly button goes back. Inhale. Exhale through your open mouth and release. Maybe wriggle your fingers, rotate your wrists in both directions, and then stretch out your legs. Maybe give them a bit of a wibble and a wobble. Move the muscles away from your sit bones, and maybe keep your legs like hip distance apart. Your feet are beautifully flexed. Inhale, reach up. Arms are next to your ears, and then exhale, move your lower ribs forward. It might be a tiny movement. Absolutely, perfectly fine. You should feel a beautiful stretch from your heels, through your calves, back of your knees, into your hamstrings, maybe into your lower back. If it's too much of a stretch, bend your knees slightly, then your upper body might come further towards your thighs, but you should still feel that stretch. Beautiful. Keep that chest nice and open, and be careful that it's not the chin moving forward. Try to keep that chin back where it belongs. Stay here for another 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back into a straight line, and then release your arms down. Rotate your shoulders in both directions. Release those legs and take your legs a bit further apart. It doesn't have to be all the way out there, as far as you feel comfortable just now. Flex those feet, legs are beautifully engaged. Same thing here. Inhale, reach those hands up. Exhale, push those lower ribs forward. The stretch will move into your inner thigh. You'll still feel it in your hamstrings, back of your knees, calves, ankles, and lower back as well. Beautiful. Another 2 and 1. And then come back into a straight line. Release those hands down and allow the fingertips to move forward. Much easier having your fingers in front. Nonetheless, keep your chest open, keep your lower back as flat as possible, and look straight ahead. If we look down, we're going to round the neck, and then we're going to round the upper back as well, and then we're lost. Very good. Like this, you'll feel that stretch moving into your hamstrings. Keeping your legs engaged, your feet beautifully flexed. Still looking straight ahead. And when you found your position that you feel comfortable in, stay there. Perhaps close your eyes and allow your attention to travel into your body to see, okay, where am I stretching? How does it feel? Become friends with that stretch. Breathe into that stretch. Allow the muscle to become soft, elongated. And perhaps you'll feel that there's a greater range of motion. Just breathing into that stretch. Keeping the distance between your ears and shoulders. And if you had your eyes closed, open it again and slowly come on back into upright position. Move your legs together, cross those ankles just to close those hip joints, and gently sway your legs from side to side and change sides. Then curl your legs under and come into a kneeling position. Whether you have your feet flat or you curl your toes under, I'll leave up to you. And simply apply some weight. If you have your toes tucked under, inhale. And then take your hands on your lower back, keeping your core nice and tight. Rotate those shoulders backwards. And on the next inhale, simply squeeze the shoulder blades together and come into a slight back bend. Opening your chest. And it feels like the tip of your elbows would like to touch. Allow your gaze to go upwards. Your core is nice and tight so you don't fall into a hollow back. Maybe tuck your tailbone under. So it's simply the lower ribs to the head that are moving backwards in maybe an itty bitty arch. Really spread those ribs apart, widening your shoulder girdle, lengthening your neck at the same time. And with the next inhale, slowly come on back. Release those hands, release those toes if you had them tucked under, and rotate your shoulders in both directions. And on the next inhale, allow those arms to go out wide. Shoulders are relaxed. And exhale, hug yourself. Drop your chin down towards the chest, pulling your shoulder blades down towards your sit bones. Feel that space between your shoulder blades, the opposite movement of what we did before. Now on the next inhale, open again. And this time, open your arms so wide that you're squeezing the shoulder blades again. Keep the arms shoulder height. And on the next exhale, go and hug yourself again. Other arm on the top, drop your chin down. And release, rotate your shoulders in both directions. And come into a kneeling position. Here again as well, you can either tuck your toes under. Maybe let's start with the toes tucked under, because what we're going to do is we're going to take one hand, reach up, and exhale, rotate that arm back, and maybe touch that heel. Slight back bend, keeping your core nice and tight. You'll feel the stretch in your quad. Inhale, come back. Change sides. Other arm goes up. Maybe allow your gaze to follow that arm, reach back, touch your heel, and come on back. We're going to do 3 more on each side, keeping your core nice and tight. Lengthen that arm, up, 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 and down, pushing your hips forward. The one-sided, very flexible camel, inside, other side. Use your breath to guide your motion and change sides, lengthening and bending. Inhale, come up and down. Change sides. Inhale, grow long and twist and bend backwards. Inhale, come back one more time on each side. Inhale and down. Inhale, come back. And last time, this side. Beautiful. If this was not enough, then obviously you can lower the top of your feet down and do it again. And then there's a bit more distance you have to travel. Okay? There's more strength required in the front side of your body. If you feel that's still not enough, curl your toes under and do the same thing with both hands, one after the other, coming into a camel. And if that is still not enough, you lower your feet down and do the same, because there you have distance again. Just ensure that you keep your inner thighs moving towards each other. Your lower abdominals are nice and strong. And you're very slow in coming back up. And then we're all going to move into a child's pose. Drop your belly down towards your thighs, keeping your arms engaged and stretched out ahead of you. Allow your glutes to sink down onto your heels. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. So it gives you a chance to actually release that lower back. there's a lot of tension in your lower back, gently pull that tailbone under, increasing the length in your lumbar spine. Ground down through the palm of your hands and fingers. Deep breaths. Let's do one more here. And with the next inhale, slowly come on back. And let's meet in tabletop. Gently sway your hips from side to side. Maybe take your shoulders along. Maybe draw circles with your spine, depending on what your body feels like doing. Listen, check in. See, does this work for me? Yes or no? A bit of discomfort's okay, but definitely no pain. Flatten your toes or keep them tucked under. Your knees are under your hips and your spine is flat. Shoulders moved away from your ears. Inhale. And all we're going to do is we're going to lengthen our spine. So we're trying to move this crown away in one direction and the tailbone away in the other direction. Lengthening. There's distance between your earlobes and shoulders. Your hands are pushing into the mat. Your arms are engaged. And take your attention into your body to see, where am I stretching? Is my spine getting long? Is there lightness in my pelvis? Lightness and length in my neck? Is my heart nice and open? My ribs are not moving together. Rib cage expanding. And then with the next inhale, simply drop your belly down and come into a cow pose. Whether you allow your gaze to go up towards the ceiling or you gaze straight ahead, depends on how flexible your neck feels. Don't drop your chest down. Keep your arms extended and pull your shoulders way away from your ears. And with your next exhale, come into neutral spine. Twice more. Inhale, drop that belly down, opening the chest. Maybe squeezing those shoulder blades slightly together. Shoulders go away from your ears. Maybe you want to drop the back of your head towards your shoulders. And lengthening your throat if possible. And with the next inhale, come into a neutral spine. Last time, inhale. Try not to shift your glutes back towards your heels, keeping your glutes above or your pelvis above your knees. And with the next inhale, come into a neutral spine. And gently sway your hips from side to side. Maybe draw circles, maybe move one shoulder at a time, just feeling into your body. What does it need? And when you feel comfortable, exhale into a cat pose. Pushing those shoulder blades apart. The hands are pushing into the mat. Extending those arms. Tuck your chin down towards your chest. And then take your attention and travel down your spine, from your skull, along your neck, into the shoulders that move away from your ears, down into your shoulder blades. Push them apart. Then into your mid-spine, like the back of your diaphragm, push it away from the mat. Then lengthen that lumbar spine of yours by tucking your tailbone under. And with your next inhale, very slowly and gently, start to flatten that pelvis. Come into the lower back. Flatten that. Then come into your mid-spine. Flatten that. And then come into your chest. Allow it to be nice and square, as well as your shoulder girdle. And we're back in tabletop. And then gently just simply sway your head or move your head from side to side. And then move your left or right hand, just one hand under your center line, extend the other hand out to the side and then up towards the ceiling with your inhale. Reach up to the ceiling, exhale, thread that needle, come to lie on that shoulder. And either extend that arm out or leave it on the mat. And if you want to go for the bind, allow that upper arm to wrap around and grab hold of your inner thigh. Rotating your upper shoulder backwards, opening the chest. Release those fingertips up towards the ceiling again if you were in a bind, and come back into tabletop. Move your entire body so that it feels good to you. And then we'll switch sides. Come into the center line with the other hand. Nice and long arm, extend the other arm out. Raise the fingertips up towards the ceiling, and this side might feel completely different. And exhale down, lie onto that shoulder. Push the opposite hand into the mat or release it up towards the ceiling, allowing your gaze to follow. Or go into bind, wrapping that upper hand around, grabbing hold of your inner thigh. Rotating that upper shoulder backwards, allow the gaze to go up towards the ceiling. Beautiful twist of the spine. With the next inhale, release that hand, reach up towards the ceiling. And then slowly come back into tabletop. And move your body in such a way that it feels good to you. Maybe drawing circles, maybe simply swaying your hips from side to side, maybe doing a couple of tiny cat-cows. Just getting out of that movement from before. Very good. Then extend one leg out, keeping that foot nice and flexed, hip is closed. Mat hands are pushing down, gaze down to the mat. That's all we're doing. Just simply push that heel back, leg is engaged, core is nice and tight. And then swap sides. Extend the other leg out, flex that foot, keep the hip closed. Push that leg out of the hip, keep it engaged. And then come back, tuck those toes under, and gently lift the knees. Keep your breath nice and steady and even. Your hands are pushing into the mat, shoulder blades are moving apart. You're gazing down towards the tip of your nose. Your core is working, your inner thighs are working, smile's working, everything's working. Hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on down into a child's pose. Great job. Rest your forehead down onto the mat, keeping your arms extended. And ground down through the palm of your hands and your 10 fingers. Stay here for 2 breaths, releasing whatever possible tension you have. Allow it to flow down into your mat, into the earth. With your next inhale, come up, take your left foot forward, come into a beautiful lunge. Inhale your hands up and drop your pelvis down. Make sure you don't come into a hollow back. Slightly tuck your tailbone under. Maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. Maybe you want to or can come into a slight back bend, especially from your lower ribs to your fingertips, moving those arms maybe slightly behind your head. Feeling the stretch in your psoas, perhaps into your lower abdominals. And then simply allow that arm to go backwards, either to your hamstring, to your calf, maybe all the way down, back to your heel, and bend a bit more backwards with your back body, stretching your psoas. Allow your gaze to go backwards towards that heel. And then inhale, slowly come on back. Drop that same hand down onto the mat. Slightly twist your chest towards your bent leg. Allow that gaze to go up towards the ceiling. With your next exhale, allow that upper hand to come down and simply switch sides. Reach that other hand up. Same hand as the leg that's stretched out in the back. And now with this upper arm, play around with where you're stretching your arm to or moving your arm to. If you're moving it simply behind your head, you're slightly shifting your way towards your bent leg, your front leg, and you'll feel the stretch going into that hip bone. If you move it backwards towards your leg, that stretch will move into your lower abdominals. If you move it forward, it'll move into your side body. So move that upper arm in that direction where you feel the biggest stretch, and then enjoy it. Breathe into the stretch. And with the next exhale, allow that hand to come on down, tuck the back toes under, and simply allow your glutes to shift back towards the heel, coming into runner's stretch. Inhale, flatten your spine. Exhale, allow your chest to sink down towards that thigh. Doesn't matter how low down you go, as long as you can feel the stretch in the back of that front leg. Gaze goes to your toes. And with your next inhale, come on forward. Keep those toes tucked in that back leg. Lift that back knee and come into a pigeon pose on that same side. So for me, it's my left knee is in the front. Turn to the camera. So I'd like you to have your knee outside of your hip, not in front of you, outside. And the heel goes into your hip flexor. And then shift your pelvis so that it is parallel to the mat. Look over that shoulder to see whether your heel is moving up to, or pointing up towards the ceiling. Moving wouldn't be very good. Inhale, come into a slight back bend. Listen to your lower back. And then exhale, allow your chest to sink forward and downwards towards the mat. Keeping your fingers in spider fingers. Lower your head down, coming into sleeping pigeon. Don't rest your forehead down. Simply allow the weight of your chest to push down onto that front bent thigh and calf. Arms are strong. Just feel the stretch in the outer thigh and hip. And with your next inhale, slowly come on back. Slight back bend again, moving the shoulders away from those ears. And then flatten those palms onto the mat, tuck your toes under, and slowly come on off that front bent leg and move it a bit. Bend it, draw circles, shake it out, whatever works for you so that blood can flow again. And then place that foot down too and come into a plank pose. If plank is not yours today, lower your knees down. Arms are strong, shoulders are pulled away from your ears. And what we're going to do now is simply bend one knee towards the mat, stretch it again, bend the other one, stretch it, bend it, stretch it. We don't have to touch the mat, just moves down towards the mat. Making those legs believe that they're going to be resting. Going to do 3 more on each side. Keep your breathing nice and even. Then another 2. Keep the core nice and tight. And we're going to meet in plank. And then move on back into downward facing dog. Be slow and gentle, moving into that dog, finding the perfect position for you, for your body today. And then pedal those heels. Perhaps spend 1 or 2 or 3 breaths on one side, moving that chest down towards that thigh. Creasing a bigger stretch in your hamstrings, maybe in your calves, in your heels. Maybe turn your chest towards that extended leg. Pressing the palms down into the mat. Gently rotating your upper arms outwards, keeping your shoulder girdle nice and square. Maybe shaking out your head and neck. And then finding peace in your downward facing dog. Release your neck and head, gaze down towards your shins, your knees, or your thighs, or perhaps your belly button. And then with your next inhale, gaze forward, move into plank. And then take that other foot forward, drop that back knee down, coming into a lunge on this side, lifting the fingertips up and dropping the pelvis down towards the mat. Feel that stretch in the other hip flexor now. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, maybe come into a slight back bend. Remember, pull that tailbone under just to protect your lower back. And then release the same hand back towards the extended back leg and either touch your hamstring, your glutes, or your calves, and slightly turn your chest towards it. Turn around so that you can see. Allow that gaze to go back to where your hand is. The other fingertips are reaching up towards the ceiling. Drop that pelvis down. Our hip flexors are very often, they're shortened because we sit a lot, so we want to stretch them. And that alleviates a lot of lower back pain. With the next inhale, come back and drop that same hand down onto the mat. Other hands or fingers still reaching up towards the ceiling. Slightly twist your chest towards that front bent leg. Whether you have the back toes tucked under or flat on the mat is up to you. Just remember that your pelvis wants to move down towards the mat. With your next inhale, come back to center and just change sides. Reach that corresponding front hand up. And this is a side where you can maximize the stretch. So either you're going forward and lengthening the side body, getting a different stretch than when you're moving your arm behind your head, getting a slight twist into your chest as well, or you're moving slightly backwards. So find the position of your upper arm where you can get the stretch that you're looking for today. With the next exhale, take that hand down and stretch that front leg. Allow the glutes to move back towards that heel. Keep that front leg stretched, foot flexed, and exhale as flat as possible back down towards that thigh. The more you flex that front foot and the more you bend those toes towards your chest, the bigger the stretch will be in your hamstrings, or you feel it. Shoulders are moved away from your ears. With the next inhale, flatten that front foot, tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, and come into pigeon on this side now. This is the other side. Extend that back leg out, look over your shoulder so that you can see your heel moving up towards the ceiling. Your front knee is on the outside of your hip. Your heel is pushing into your hip flexor, and you're moving that hip down so that your pelvis is parallel to the ground. Inhale, lengthen that spine, shoulders pull away from your ears. And if you want to and can, I invite you to go into a slight back bend. And then with an extended spine, you're walking your hands forward, coming into a sleeping pigeon. Your arms are strong, your fingers are strong, your spine is long, and your belly and chest are moving down, pushing down onto that bent leg and cough. Make sure that your shoulders don't come up towards your ears. Shoulders move away from your ears. You're not resting on the glute or thigh of that bent front leg. Beautiful stretch in that thigh and glutes of the bent leg. And with your next inhale, slowly come on back. Either with a straight back or come into a slight back bend again. And then flatten the palms down onto the mat, tuck the back toes under, and slowly come into a plank. Be nice to that bent knee. Move it, circle it, shake it out, and we will meet in plank. Your shoulders are above your wrists. Your hands are shoulder width apart and your fingers are beautifully splayed. Heels are pushing back. And very often, we always think plank is all about core and upper body. So it's not. Engage your legs. Engage those inner thighs. And then the entire body is working. And like on the other side, let's just dip one knee after the other down towards the mat. Keep your breath nice and even. 3 more on each side. If that is not yours, stay in plank or go into child's pose. And 1 more on each side. And with your next exhale, move back into downward facing dog and gently walk that dog, lifting those heels, maybe shaking out your neck and head, grounding down through 10 fingers and palm of your hands. Shifting your upper body back towards your thighs and find some peace in your downward facing dog, gazing down towards your feet, shins, knees, or thighs, or even belly button. Try to move the pelvis away from your shoulders, lengthening your spine. And then with your next inhale, look forward, walk or hop towards your hands and come into a forward fold. Simply allow your upper body to fold downwards, nice and heavy. If the stretch is too big in the back of your legs, simply bend your knees. Tuck your chin down towards your chest. This feels too much. Maybe you want to grab your elbows. And simply hang there. Try to shift your weight forward so that your toes have to do a bit of work. If you're holding your elbows, release those elbows. Bend your knees slightly. And with your next inhale, come into a half lift. Stretch those legs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Last time, exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up into a standing position. Fingertips reach up. And exhale, come on down, hands in front of your heart center, and then drop those hands down, come into mountain pose. Stand a bit more than hip distance apart. Slightly turn your feet out like we want to go into Malasana, which we're going to do. So we're going to inhale, stretch up, exhale, come down. As far as you think you can and want to right now. Don't go too deep. We're going to do a couple of times. Up, inhale, down, exhale, inhale, up, exhale, down, inhale, up, exhale, down. With each and every time, maybe you come down a bit further. Listen to your hips and keep your core nice and strong. This is beautiful hip opening and close. And we're going to do another 3. Move with your breath. It's not sloppy movement, it's controlled movement. We are going to meet in Malasana. And come on down. Release your glutes down as much as you can. If your heels are not on the ground, double up your mat. And then take your upper arms and gently push into the inside of your knees. If that's too much, just simply rest your upper arms against the inside of your knees. Take your hands in front of your heart center. Close your eyes. Travel inward with your attention. Straighten that spine. Allow your sit bones to sink down towards the mat. Crown moves up towards the sky. And shoulders move away from the ears. Lift all 10 toes. Contract your inner thighs, contract your perineum. And release the toes down. Release all tension you're holding. Place the hands on the back on your mat. Stretch out your legs. Wibble wobble your legs. Cross your ankles one way, then the other way. And then sit onto your mat, one leg extended, and the other one you're going to bend towards your chest and then drop that knee down onto the mat. Ensure that that knee is on the mat for what we're going to do afterwards. Move the muscles away from your sit bones. Your extended leg is nice and strong, foot is flexed. Inhale, grow long. And exhale, move your chest forward. We're flat in our back. Gaze down towards those toes and keep those arms close to your ears. With the next exhale, allow those hands to come down and move your chest forward, flat back. Shoulders are moved away from your ears, and maybe your fingertips can move forward towards your knee, your calf, your ankle. Again, that chin is moved back. And with the next inhale, slowly come on back. What we're going to do now is you're going to rotate that arm backwards. Lift your glutes up. Open up. Wild baby, I call this, because the one leg's extended, the other one's bent. And come down again. 3 more. Up you come. Pushing that right hand. For me, it's my right one because my right leg is bent into that floor, opening your chest, opening your entire front side. And come down. And again. Inhale, open. Exhale, come down. Last time, inhale, open this front side, stay there. Maybe allow that upper arm to move backwards, squeezing the shoulder blades. And then inhale, come back center, exhale, come on down, come to the front, sit down, move that knee up and hug it towards your chest. Arm goes behind your glutes again, come into gentle twist. Both shoulders move away from your ears. Inhale, look forward, exhale, release. Stretch that leg out, wobble those legs. Let's take the other leg. Move it, bend it, move it down. Keep the other leg extended in front of you, foot is flexed. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, allow your chest to move forward and down. Flat back. Try not to turn. Gaze down to those flexed toes. Keep the upper arms close to your ears. And then exhale those hands down, pulling those shoulders away from your ears. Your chest is open. Your lower ribs are moving towards your flexed toes. Beautiful stretch all the way in the back of that extended leg, maybe into your lower back. Pull your belly button back towards your spine to allow a bit more flexion here. And with your next inhale, come on back. Move that arm behind your bent leg, behind your glutes. Inhale, come on up. Lift your glutes off the mat, opening your front side. It's the reason why I said knee on the mat. Come on down. And 3 more. Up. Open that front side. Beautiful. Even your hip flexors being lengthened. And down with your exhale. And again, inhale up. And down. And last time up. And maybe this time you can allow your upper arm to drop backwards, squeezing the shoulder blades. That hand behind your body is pushing into the mat. Chest is beautifully open. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come on down. And then hug that knee towards your chest. Rotate that arm backwards. Come into a slight twist. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, release. And stretch that leg out. Wibble wobble your legs. And come onto your mat so you can sit on your mat and you have more space behind you so we can roll down. Keeping your feet about hip distance apart. Hold on to your knees. Round that lower back. And then very slowly move on down. And take your knees along. Hug them towards your chest. Maybe you want to gently rock from side to side. Tuck that chin down towards your chest. If you're rocking from side to side, let's meet in center. Hug those knees towards your chest a bit more. Rotate your ankles in both directions. And then keep hold of one knee, extend the other leg out. Pull that chin down towards your chest so that your neck is nice and flush with the mat. That extended leg is still floating. Point the toes and then move that extended leg out of your hip. Imagine it's growing by 0.5 meter and only then allow it to release down onto the mat. Maybe hug that bent knee a bit closer towards your chest. Feel that stretch in your psoas, pushing your lower back into the mat. And with your next inhale, slowly change sides. Hug that other knee towards your chest. Extend the opposite leg out of that hip. Toes are pointed. That extended leg still floating. And with your next exhale, allow that leg to sink down onto your mat. Pushing it out of your hip and then push your lower back into the mat. Chin tucked down. Shoulders move away from the ears. Both shoulder blades push into the mat. With your next inhale, hug both knees towards your chest one more time. Bring the knees as close together as you can, and then curl into itty bitty ball. Release your back onto the mat again. Cross those knees and hug them towards your chest. Change sides. And then extend your legs and arms. Flatten those hands and feet. Push them up towards the ceiling. And splay your fingers or toes as good as possible. Pushing your entire upper body into that mat. Strong arms and strong legs. And then shake it out. Release what you don't need anymore. And then slowly allow those arms and legs to sink down onto your mat. Ensure that you're warm enough. Turn the palms facing up so that your shoulder blades can lie flat on the mat. And And gently sway your head from side to side before you flow into Shavasana. Maybe take a breath or two, laying your head on one side, releasing those shoulders away from the ears, and then slowly change to the other side. And we'll meet in the middle. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale through your open mouth. Again. One more. Allow your body to grow heavy. Sink into the mat. Relax. Your toes, feet, and ankles. Relax. Your calves, knees, and thighs. Relax. Your pelvis, your glutes. Relax. Your entire lower body. Relax. Your lower back, your belly, your chest, and shoulder blades. Relax. Your shoulders, arms, elbows, palm of your hands, and fingers. Relax. Your neck, the back of your head, your entire face and throat. Relax. Your entire upper body. Relax. Your entire body from the tip of your toes to the top of your crown. Relax. Sink into the mat. Release. With your next inhale, slowly bring your attention into the space around you. Become aware of the sounds near and far. Perhaps feel the air on your skin and the mat beneath your body. And slowly bring your attention into your body and moving your toes and fingers. And then take a deep inhale into your belly, move your arms above your head, giving yourself a beautiful stretch from your toes all the way up to your fingertips. And slowly move one knee after the other towards your chest. And gently hug those knees towards your chest and either sway from side to side, activating Iran Pingala, the nadis left and right of your spine, or rotate your knees above your pelvis and do it in both directions. And then allow your body to roll over to your favorite side and release into the mat one more time. Try not to hold on to anything at all. And stay here for 3 breaths before you come up into comfortable seated position. Place your legs in such a fashion that it feels comfortable to you. Your hands can rest in your lap, on your thighs, or on your knees. Allow the left hand to rest on your right hand if your hands are in your lap. Root down through your sit bones and allow your spine to be nice and tall, your crown moving up towards the sky. Your face is relaxed. The corners of your mouth are moving upward. Your shoulders move down away from your ears. Your heart space is open. With your next inhale, take your hands in front of your heart center. Release your forehead down to your fingertips in gratitude for the time and effort you invested in the most beautiful human to walk the face of the earth, yourself. Release your forehead. Move your thumbs up. Gently touch that forehead. With gratitude and love, I realize who I am. Move those thumbs down to your heart space. With gratitude and love, I realize who I am, what I have, and what I have to give. Allow that sentiment to course throughout your emotional and physical body. Allow it to flow outward into the world and touch as many people as you'd wish to today, tomorrow, and in the days to come. To end the class, we'll do 3 lines breath. We inhale through the nose, exhale through your open mouth, growl, stick out your tongue, whatever rocks your boat. Keep your hands in Angelina Mudra or move them out into cactus. Let's go. Inhale. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you an absolute fantastic day and week ahead.